This week on Coin Toss, NBA All-Star Weekend, NFL Free Agent Recap, and pizza. Yes, I said pizza.
What's up? I'm George Sylvia of the Dallas Cowboys, and I watch Coin Toss.
What's going down, guys? This is Coin Toss. I'm Asterix770, also known as Cam. He's at Razzleberry, also known as Jarrod. And if you like the video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Also, props to George Sylvia for that shout out. That your boy is awesome. We got a great week lined up here on Coin Toss. All-Star Weekend, NFL Free Agency, and of course, pizza. But we'll save that for a little bit later. We'll start with the All-Star Weekend. All-Star Saturday Night, the Celebrity Game featured one of the best post-game speeches if you watch Kevin Hart's MVP acceptance speech. If you haven't, go watch it because it's hilarious. All-Star Saturday Night, degree shooting stars, Chris Bosh, three-peats without LeBron. Poor LeBron. And I think Patrick Beverley, two double come-from-behind victories in the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. And then, of course, the main events of the night, the three-point contest. Stephen Curry, 27 in one round, proving that he can shoot better blindfolded than you will ever be able to shoot a basketball, and I will ever be able to shoot a basketball. But, of course, the highlight of every All-Star Weekend is the dunk contest, and today we had one guy that absolutely killed it.
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine. People did not know him beforehand, unless you watch the internet for that kind of stuff, but they sure as heck know him now. That man can absolutely fly. Do you think, I think we can all agree that Vince Carter's 01 dunk contest remains the best ever, but where do you rank LaVine's dunk contest?
I think we're going to have to wait a little while to decide on that. I don't think we can decide within the first week of it all happening, but I think maybe in a few years he could be in maybe the top three. I think Jordan's was just really good because it's Michael Jordan.
Jordan, the original one with Julius Erving in it,
It's like if
really
LeBron
good.
did it. It would probably be one of the better dunk contests ever, just because
doing
it's LeBron.
Yeah, I think one of the more underrated ones is Dwight Howard, which also featured some notable...
The Superman cape?
Yes, notable Kenny Smith moments. Superman! Da, 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 da.
Oh my gosh.
You win, young fella! You win! Superman! Da, 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 da. Superman is here!
That to this day, Kenny Smith remains my favorite commentator for the dunk contest because of that moment. And then, of course, the actual All-Star game happened. The scores in the 160s for both sides?
163 to 158, I think.
Something like that. It was a high-paced game.
Win.
LeBron dunked more times than Carmelo scored. Russell Westbrook showed that he can fly and proved that the backboard can actually be a hazard if you're Russell Westbrook. And old people dunked the basketball. Only in the All-Star game. Dirk dunking the basketball off the alley-oop. Tim Duncan dunking the basketball. It was just a really memorable night in New York City. How do you think this compares as one of the greatest All-Star weekends of all time?
It's one of the first that I've actually watched from start to finish because usually it's not a great game, but it was tight to the end. I would have liked to have seen a little more competitiveness at the end from the East side trying to win it. I know it's just an All-Star game. It doesn't really matter, but it would have been nice to see them fouling each other, trying to get to the free throw line, trying to win it, but I think it was a pretty good All-Star game.
It was a good game, and of course, maybe the competitive aspect it's the question that remains to be answered about All-Star Weekend, but I think in terms of putting on a show, this might have been one of the best ever. You talk about the place it was at, the Barclays Center, the brand new Barclays Center, and of course, Madison Square Garden. Where can you get that's more iconic than New York basketball and Madison Square Garden? And now everybody in New York is sad because they have to go back to the Knicks, which our condolences to Knicks fans everywhere.
Carmelo Anthony playing 30 minutes, and then now he's going to probably quit for the rest of the season, which is kind of
all part of Phil Jackson's master plan. Julia looking forward to I got to play for the Knicks now. But as a Nuggets fan, I somewhat feel your pain. You're a Celtics fan, especially now that Rondo got traded.
Mavericks, Celtics, so I kind of win either way.
But you do not like Rondo, don't you?
No, I don't think he really does much besides pass the ball.
Well,
honestly.
for some teams, that's all they need. Moving on, NFL free agency is right around the corner. We're going to play a little game of who stays and who goes. And we'll start with the question everybody wants to see. Des Bryant, does he stay or go on free agency?
I think he stays at the very least on franchise tag, and they figure something out closer to the June 1st deadline whenever they have to sign him long term.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I also have him staying. I think he's got to be priority number one for the Cowboys. I don't know if he's the best receiver on the market. There's definitely competition for it, but he is definitely top two, and will get a big contract either way. So that leads us to the other Dallas Cowboys player, DeMarco Murray. Do you have him staying or going?
If Des Bryant stays, I don't have DeMarco Murray staying
So you
either.
have
I think
DeMarco
it's
Murray
either
going.
or, really. In my honest opinion, I think DeMarco should stay, and Des could probably go. But it's Des Bryant. He carries the number 88, the elusive number of Michael Irvin before him.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sign Des Bryant, and I don't think they can keep DeMarco.
Yeah, I have DeMarco going too, but I would disagree with you in that they need to keep Dez and move DeMarco.
How about
Because
DeMarco
running
going?
backs are expendable, and with that offensive line, they can plug in Tim Tebow at running back, and he can probably get 1,000 yards rushing. But moving on, of course, to my Denver Broncos, a little bit of cap dilemma that I don't think is hard at all to decide. Demaryius Thomas, stay or go?
Stay.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas.
Especially if Peyton Manning comes back. I think once Peyton Manning decides what he's going to do, which I think he will come back.
He'll come back. You
but
know he'll come back.
If not, how about the New York Jets signing Demaryius Thomas? It's
And Rex Ryan
Poked
cries a
around.
river of tears because the Jets win the Super Bowl the year after they fire him behind Jameis Winston. Which, please, football gods, let Jameis Winston go to the Jets where he can be ripped up by the New York media. I have Demaryius staying, whether it be franchise tag, whether it be long term. He is a game changer. There's a reason I have him, a fat head of him on my wall in my bedroom. I mean, he might very well be the best wide receiver in the NFL right now.
I think so. It's him. I know Odell Beckham is kind
Odell
of creeping
Beckham
up
is
there.
coming. He is coming. And Calvin Johnson's off here. It's definitely between Antonio Brown, Dez, and Demaryius. Which leaves us to the other guy, Julius Thomas. Stay or go?
Go.
Go.
Hopefully
Absolutely.
to the New England Patriots.
That would be a dream scenario.
I don't think it'll happen, but
No, if
that'd be
they
nice.
would have to do that, the Patriots would have to
They
probably
could
let
use
go
a
of
tight
either
end.
McCourty or because they like to run two tight ends. Who would ever thought the team that have Gronk on it would say we need another tight end?
It's just their two tight end set, but I think Julius Thomas isn't quite what they need in terms of that. Aaron Hernandez is more of a speed, almost a wide receiver, and I don't think Julius Thomas is really that. He is a bigger guy like Gronk, but he can't block, which is another issue.
That's why the Denver Broncos, it's the best decision for them to let him go, save up cap space to send on like a Terrence Knighton or Raheem Moore. I also have him going, but where do you have him actually landing? Where do you think he's going to play next year?
I'd like New England, but something's telling me possibly Atlanta Falcons.
The Falcons could definitely
And
use a tight end.
I also kind of can see DeMarco Murray going to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, Murray could go to the Falcons.
They have a lot of cap space, and they need offensive position
They
players like
definitely need
those two
offensive
guys.
position players. I think another team to watch out for with Julius Thomas is, as much as I wouldn't like it, the Oakland Raiders. I mean,
Cap space. Anybody with cap
they
space
have
is always
cap
a
space.
threat.
They have, it's very true. I think he goes. Other teams you could name out. How about here's an underrated name, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Heath Miller, he's getting up there, but the Steelers should have some cap space. Another team you could name, the Miami Dolphins. I personally, I think he goes to the Raiders. I think that's where he's going to be playing next year. Which brings us back to DeMarco. Where do you have DeMarco playing?
Like I said, Atlanta Falcons. I think their offensive line isn't as good as Dallas by no means, but in a couple years they could draft Brandon Scherf in the draft and fix the offensive line a little bit.
Lineman going.
And I think DeMarco could have a pretty good season there if he decided to go to Atlanta.
Where I think DeMarco will go, if DeMarco is smart, he will look for the money because
Atlanta has money.
They do have money, but
New head coach.
24, 25 is now considered the prime for running backs. It is. And you talk about most running backs are done at 29. So if I'm DeMarco, considering the injury history, I'm looking to cash in wherever that may be. And for me, that's the Tennessee Titans. They have a hole at running back. Bishop Sankey didn't have a very productive rookie year. I think DeMarco Murray to the Titans is an underrated move because the Titans can definitely offer money. And hopefully, if they're smart, which no offense to Zach Bentenberger, he's probably a good quarterback, but hopefully because Mariota or Jameis Winston too, that would be a very that could be a dynamic 1-2 punch for the Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about how about some Patriots players. Darrelle Revis, does he stay or go?
I don't think he's going to stay on his current contract. Technically, the Patriots are about $7 million over the cap because of his $25 million option, which is currently on the team right now. But I don't think they're going to pick that up, and I think they'll negotiate a new contract worth probably close to $16-18 million per year, which would give them about $4 million under the cap, which is a lot better situation for them. They can cut a few players, restructure. Danny Amendola could probably get restructured. Yeah. Vince Wilfork might get restructured again, or even cut, and they could draft or let Dominique Easley, their young defensive tackle, fill in.
Which again leads to the other guy in New England that's got a cap space, Devin McCourty. Do you think he stays or goes?
I think he honestly probably stays more so than Darrelle Revis. I think they worry about Darrelle Revis, but I think Devin McCourty has a better chance of staying just because he's so versatile. He can honestly play cornerback. He used to play cornerback.
He is a secondary Swiss Army knife. He really is. There's no position in the secondary he can't play. I'm disagreeing with you. I think Devin McCourty leaves in free agency. And I think that because Darrelle Revis is going to be about the money this year. He's probably not going to tell you about it, but he's probably going to be about the money.
He's always been about the money.
Yeah, exactly, because he's played on terrible teams. Jets, Buccaneers, but now he's on a Super Bowl winning team, which means he's even more about the money now because he wants to get paid as much as he can on a Super Bowl winning team. And I think even with the moves, the Patriots have had a history of letting veteran players go, and I would not be surprised to see Devin McCourty go. Where do I think he lands? This is a little bit of a dream scenario, but I would love to see the super secondary that is formed between Chris Harris, who might be the best cornerback in the league. Stats say he might very well be. That's another discussion for another day, though. Aqib Talib, TJ Ward, and Devin McCourty in Denver. That is the definition of no-fly zone. That is the new Legion of Boom. It's a dream scenario, but that's where I would hope he goes. And of course, so NFL free agency, it's a great time of year. I remember where I was in March when we signed our new big three, Ward, Talib, and DeMarcus Ware. But now we get to the most, without doubt, the most important subject of this week, pizza. And specifically, the new, how about Papa John's Pizza Happiness Bowl between Michigan and Ohio State. Of course, if you have been along the internet, today there has been picture surfacing of Jim Harbaugh destroying a pizza at the Michigan State game. And it's been a pizza-filled week in the world of sports. You know, we've had plenty of athletes like Jameis Winston and Pablo Sandoval eating a little bit too much pizza. Of course, Jim Harbaugh with pizza. That is the theme of the week. I ate pizza last night. It's just been a pizza-filled week. And the world seems right when pizza is involved with sports. So that's going to do it for this episode of Coin Toss. Make sure if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Once again, you can follow me at *770 on Twitter. You can follow him at Razzleberry on Twitter. That's going to do it, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week on Coin Toss. Surprise! We're not done. We have a new segment this week that we like to call our Fail of the Week. And this week we're going down under. We're going down under to Australia and proof that Australians are worse at soccer than Americans. With, what's this guy's name? Something Rose, I think. Is that
John Ross, I believe.
John Ross.
Scoring
a 40-foot goal on his own
40-yard
team.
goal from his side of the field. Own goal. Kicks it way too fast at the keeper and goes straight into the goal. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what he was thinking.
Oh, silly Australians. Silly Australians. This is why they're good at rugby and cricket, because that's the sports that the Australians play down under. So yeah, there you go. This is the real ending this time. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm Cam. He's Jarrod. It's over now. You can turn your YouTube thing off. Have a good week, guys.